What do you think when a politician or any brainwashed individual talks about equality as if it was the best thing ever? Chances are you roll your eyes because these very people don't want any responsibilities once bad things happen. If a country went to war and every citizen, regardless of their gender, was forced to fight, feminists will cry their eyes out because women are not being protected. I know this sounds like an exaggeration, but if you are smart enough, you know this is what always happens. When shit hits the fan, everyone seems to go back to the quote-unquote gender roles. Men have to do the physical, hard tasks, whereas women are protected and given tasks that do not involve as much danger. That's why it's hard to see women on the battlefield. However, let's keep things less extreme. When a man goes broke and fails to provide for his family, society doesn't blame the women for leaving him right off the bat. Yes, some women have so many options that they can just pull out their phones and get a new man. When men are told not to cry and keep strong, they're basically dealing with their emotions and tribulations either by themselves or with other male friends. Today's society promotes the idea that a man not providing for his family is unacceptable. You know how it goes. The man must provide, but now his woman is free to disrespect him because the patriarchy is evil. Note that I'm not saying that your woman should be your servant, but rather a complement to your life. The problem is that many women have subscribed to harmful narratives that encourage them to be combative rather than loving, whereas the man is told to put up with her and even accept breadcrumbs. If at some point you owned the bakery or even a whole loaf of bread, you'd hardly accept any breadcrumbs, right? The reality, though, is quite different. As much as the word equality is mentioned all the time, this rarely happens, especially when a woman loses her privileges. Take the example of cheating. A man who cheats on his girl is a criminal, but a woman who cheats on her boyfriend is assumed to have good reasons to do so. The list of examples goes on, so in today's video, guys, I'll cover some of the double standards, why equality is a scam, and even one notorious case that will make you freak out. Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one. But before we go deeper, let me share the comment of the day. But first, an honorable mention to Range Rider's comment, which you can check out in our last video. That aside, shout out to Prime Objective. He said, "Modern women want a wedding, but they don't want to be wives. Boundaries set forth by the men, she undermines by labeling him as insecure or controlling." You're absolutely right, and don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5 for that knowledge. As usual, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons too, as it helps us out a lot. Now, back to the video. Let's imagine for a moment this situation. You're on a date with a girl, and although she's got natural hair, aka no crazy colors like some modern day women, good taste, and some manners, you realize she comes up with the equality narrative several times throughout the conversation. You just keep that in mind and pull out the card once the bill comes. Suddenly, she says that it's your job to pay. I know this is very cliche, but here's the deal. These women love their ideas so much right until they're implemented. It's like their beautiful ideas that could fix all the world's problems vanish when they're not convenient. And now, let's consider some of the harsh truths that modern day women can't accept. Everybody knows that you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Plus, you're a byproduct of your environment. If you take a look at countries like America, where single mother households are becoming normal, it's completely understandable that the new generations get involved in bad behaviors. For instance, promiscuity, crime, cheating, drugs, etc. The current thing is claiming that women need no man and can do everything by themselves. Some women do believe this with all their heart, but when they're single moms and have trouble taking care of a kid, that idea is not that good anymore. Raising a kid is indeed complex, and now that men are treated as disposable objects rather than role models, the new generations tend to have daddy issues as well. Men are not respected anymore in modern society. Fortunately, in some countries, there is some decency and respect toward the work many fathers and men do to keep society functioning. Even though no country is perfect, and many not-so-wealthy countries might have other problems, kids are raised with better values. In the West, though, values like honor, loyalty, honesty, and integrity are not being promoted, and if a woman can't offer any of these, she's still able to get lots of validation and even company as long as she is a little bit hot. You know, having some skills outcompetes being a good mother. When passport bros go to other countries, they're not trying to make Western women jealous. Not at all. This is way simpler. If women in the West were in general more respectful and family-oriented, no man would need to go overseas to find a wife. I came across a podcast where a girl shamed passport bros for going to countries where women speak barely any English. That was indeed a huge facepalm. First off, if a man can speak the local language, he's good to go, and as long as there's good communication, which seems quite like a challenge when dealing with a modern woman, that's more than enough. One of the women on the podcast said that men go to countries like the Dominican Republic, Colombia, the Philippines, and Thailand, where women speak almost no English and have little education. That last bit is indeed very telling. These foreign girls might not have uni degrees, but at least they tend to know how to be a good wife and respect a man. That's indeed a very good point one of the men made. Imagine you live in America, work your ass off to build a good life for yourself, and end up being successful financially. Now that you reach that point, you feel like you can provide for your wife and future kids. You meet a woman, and despite all your good intentions, she disrespects you all the time. You try relationships with multiple women, but none of them are marriage material. They're good at first, but later on, they become combative and disagreeable. No wonder why you would go overseas, and let's not forget about the gynocentric legal system. Sadly, modern-day women prefer taking care of their looks rather than respecting a hard-working man. And by the way, some foreign women are beautiful and respectful towards men, so it's not like a woman can retain a man just by being hot and skillful in bed. When you've got lots of fatherless households, you can't expect kids to be what they used to be back in the day. Plus, women these days are in general walking contradictions. As much as it may sound offensive, this means that they want nice guys and gentlemen, but they end up choosing the bad boys who will never commit. Come on. When you hear other men say that women in other countries are raised to be good wives, you might just want to find one because modern-day women are far from being good wives, let alone mothers to their children. When these women have their body counts through the roof, they might go back to church to find a nice guy, and one might take the bait, just to realize that she's still from the streets. Jokes aside, you get the idea, right? Men are tired of the double standards, and especially of being a 10 out of 10, just to realize that their woman does not respect them after all their efforts. Still wonder why men go solo or overseas? To wrap up this video, let me address the Lana Rhoades case because it's indeed so impressive. She got involved in the adult content industry and performed in multiple videos, but now that she's famous and pretty much anyone knows her for something that is not precisely her personality, she regrets her decisions. As much as she might be hot and many men want her for lustful purposes, she'll hardly find any man who will want to wife her up. A woman with such a body count and even public history will hardly be a great mother to any man's kids. Some people feel sorry for her and shame those who want her to hold herself accountable. If a man marries a promiscuous girl and she ends up going back to her exes or flat out cheating with a new man, his friends will tell him, "I told you she had a certain past, she wasn't the right one for you." Despite all the gospel of tolerance and my past doesn't matter, the past matters a lot, period. That's why as a man you must be careful with the girls you choose. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? What other examples prove that modern day women hate accountability? Do you have any stories you'd like to share with the community? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.